this. It's not a shelf video. Anyway, calm down, calm down. It's not a shelf video. We've done a journey. We've just done a 500-mile journey. We've had the car a month, 6 weeks, something like that. I don't know how long we've had it. Anyway, we've done our first major journey on it. I'm just going to give you a general sort of overview. We've only just been going a couple of miles. We haven't been going far. This is our first journey, and I'm just going to give you where we went, what we did, what I was impressed with, what I liked, what I was surprised by. So anyway, I'm really pleased with it. What should we start off with? The most important and impressive thing, 52 to the gallon. Wow. We set off early morning. The road was clear. It was Sunday morning. We were sitting at 70 plus, shall we say? 70, 80. I don't think we did 90 or a ton. But we were shifting. We were on the motorway. It was clear. There was nothing on the motorway. So we weren't hanging around. We had a distance to go. And I'll show you why I chose the route and all that. It'll be part of the video. You know I ramble on, don't I? Really pleased. Oh, and she's pretty in the dark, you know. The lights on it are amazing. It was comfortable. The biggest impressive thing was I was really I wondered about this back. We had some 4 seasons in one day job. It's got no rear wiper, and I really didn't believe. I wasn't, you know, but it was hoofing down with rain. The wipers were flat out, and there wasn't even a drop on this. I don't know if you can see, but the air comes down through this spoiler thing, and it goes even tighter. Look, it's hardly a finger width under there. Can you see? It's a small gap, and I'm only guessing the air must drive down here and keeps this clear. Now I thought it was going to pick up filth. You know, usually in this sort of a thing, the back of the car in dirty weather on the motorway, it picks up all the filth and throws it on the back window, doesn't it? So you need your wiper. That works surprisingly well. Never experienced that before. It's great. It's just the tiniest of gap, and I think there's even, look, there's like ridges up here. Look, you see there's like a ridge up there underneath there. It's really so I was really surprised and pleased with that. The lighting was fantastic. We could probably do a bit more. Do you know, you want to see how aerodynamic it is, all you have to do is do some fast mileage on the motorway, long mileage, and the dirt will tell you what the air is doing. The dirt's beginning to go this way, isn't it? It slips through the air lovely. It was comfortable. It's not. Imagine you're going on a dual carriageway, you know, 2 lanes, and you're going up a long hill. The hill, you can see the hill in front of you. The hill is probably 2 or 3 miles and quite steep on a fast road. Now I like to punch past, so halfway up the hill there was a slow moving vehicle. Was it a truck, was it a whatever, but I like to accelerate up the hill, punch past anything like that, get out the way of it, so you don't cause a hold up or anything, any other fast cars coming up behind you. It didn't really shift. We were doing 70, let's say we were doing 80 up the hill, then from 80 whilst going up the hill it didn't push on, which was a bit of a, but when you think about it, it's quite a big car and it's only 1200 cc's, so okay, we'll accept that. I can only compare with what I've had before, and like the Passat, you could be going up a hill, you could put your foot down and it would accelerate. That was the only thing that sort of surprised me. It didn't put, and like I say, I haven't had it at top speed yet. but I'm overall really impressed with it. The fuel economy. If it would have been electric, part of our journey we would have had to have charged it somewhere. We would have had to have gone to a charger. If we were lucky, we would have gone there, charged the thing up, and taken half an hour or 3/4 of an hour or whatever. Because with the hybrid, we haven't. We just put the fuel in, off we went. We've burnt half a tank. It didn't take. It's got a fairly small tank. I didn't think it had that sort of range. I think, you know, you'd squeeze 600 miles out of it. We've got 328 left. You'll see that those pictures flash up. So it only burnt. I mean, okay, it's a different vehicle altogether. When we've had Izzies and 4x4s and that, we'd take a tank to get up there. You'd have to fill it up, and then you'd take another tank to come home. So the economy of it, I'll show you, 52 to the gallon. So it's supposed to do 55. I think you could easily get 55 to the gallon out of it. If you drove a little bit more sensibly, you might even get more. So the fuel economy has been I'm really pleased with that, you know, with the price of fuel. And of course, yes, you can have a bigger car with a bigger engine, but you know, the way the government's going with this road tax, you're going to get caned, aren't you? So it was perfectly adequate for that journey, for what we did, for going anywhere really. Yeah, you could go anywhere in it. Okay, it's not performance, but you got to remember it's only 1200. And yes, you can have a performance now, but you're going to be paying in road tax in the next few years. They're going to hate you. So I'm glad it wasn't a full electric. I like the hybrid because we're dodging the tax on it, aren't we? I like the price points because you're not paying the extra. It didn't go over 40,000, did it? We paid 35 for it. So we've kept under that extra tax that you had to pay on it. So that's been good. I think all in all, it's a keeper. I mean, okay, we've only had it a month. So next will be the reliability and how many lights come off, you know, and all that. It has flashed up, check all for, I don't know if it was a bump or something. But she did flash up, or for another thing that I didn't like, it give you a warning. Now on the trucks it gives you a warning, you read the warning, you press OK, the warning goes away. It was showing us warnings, but then the warnings were going away. She did aquaplane in a few places. We did lose traction now and again, but there was a puddle across the road and we were shifting, but it behaved itself. It was fine, it's handled fine, there was no worries. The light, the only reason I know it did aquaplane was because the light came on and we had no traction. And I said to Debbie, do you know we aquaplaned on that little bit then, you know, on the fast roads? But yeah, I'm really yeah, that was our first, like you say, proper journey in it. And this is a bit of an update, and I'll tell you where we went. In the mountains. Yeah, we visited, well, where we were going past our old house when we bought first time, and we'll get the price of that as well. So oh, another thing I was going to tell you, I've been following these because that light is slightly taller. Do you know when you're in traffic you see the car in front, but you also see the car in front of the car in front? Well, if that light was down at the same level of most of the cars, it doesn't stand out. But because that light is a slightly higher, it's above the bonnet of the car in front. So you're easier to see that braking in front of the car in front of you. These backlights, because they're slightly raised and they're above the bonnet of most cars that are in front of them, or the eye line, you know. So you see me braking 2 or 3 cars in front of you before. So I'm pleased with that. The back end of it is nice. The lighting, the travelling. I think we've done all right, you know. Okay, before we can make a real conclusion, we've got to have it a year or two, see if it behaves itself. There's lots of electronics. There's lots of things that can go wrong in there. But obviously they don't want it to go wrong. We don't want it to go wrong. It's not meant to go wrong. It's just the luck of the draw. You either get a good one or you get one that was built on a Friday. But so far, on our first trip, I'm really pleased with it. Yeah. I think this is going to be a keeper. Travelling experience was lovely. Yes, it's a new car, so you expect it. It was lovely, quiet, the sound was fine, you know, the stereo worked fine, the radio worked fine. The dash in the night was really good. The dash in the day was really good. Overall, I'm really pleased with it. A lot of you out there that's going to say, oh, I wouldn't buy a new car, Reggie, blah blah blah, I'd rather use my old banger. Part of buying a new one is reliability, fuel economy, blah blah blah, all the rest of it, and safer in a smash. So let's say you're going to hit an oak tree. Let's say you finally hit it at 40 mile an hour, or a bridge end, you know, solid concrete block. You hit a solid concrete block in a 15-year-old car. I'd like to say to you, you're going to survive a lot more running around in a newer, more technical, more airbags. There's more safety put into that car, which is all part and parcel of buying a new car, and part of the parcel reason of I don't like running around in old knackers. But you smash that into a concrete block in the same speed, whatever speed you choose, 30, 40, 50, and you smash this into a concrete block in the very same place. The whole part and the reason of buying newer, more technically modern cars, more airbags, they've put more thought into it, is it's more survivable, isn't it? And I know we don't expect to crash, but people, the road is a massive killer. People die on the roads. So I'm pleased, you know. Don't come at me, oh Reggie, you've spent a lot of money, oh, I'd rather run around in my old knacker. Yeah, well, when we're both going on the way up to heaven, plucking our harps, and we've smacked into the same concrete block, bridge end, or a oak tree, or whatever it is, that's more survivable, I'd like to say. Done a big spiel and I forgot to switch it on. Right, we live in Warsaw, right? So our journey was to get from Warsaw to Carnarvon, to Rosgadvan and Pensylvania, yeah. So we could have gone several ways. We could have come down here, Shrewsbury, Telford into Shrewsbury, round these roundabouts, roundabout, they drive me crazy. And then we could have come up through Llangollen and came across the A5, come past Snowdonia, in the national park. All of here is the national park, up through the mountains and come in that way. But it's tedious and it's single track, most of it. It's all, you know, once you've come out of, once you hit this Llangollen A5 that way, it's all, you know, it's all main road all the way. No dual carriageways, no nothing. So I don't really like going that way. We could have come here, gone up the 41 and picked up Chester, come into Chester and picked up the 55 and gone that way. We could have even come to Stoke and gone through that way, Nantwich, and cut across. I am a motorway boy. I do like the motorway. So we came out of Walsall, Junction 10, jumped on the motorway and went all the way up the motorway here, look. And then come round past Chester, Coast Road. This is all dual carriageway, all fast dual carriageway. You can come screaming up here, come around here, dual carriageway all the way. There's no hold-ups, there's no roundabouts, there's no nothing. You're in all the way into Bangor, even into Carnarvon. It's half decent road, and then you start climbing. We came up out of here. I was born and bred. You'll see on the film where I was born and bred, in Pontriac there. And then we come up the hill. Rosgadvan's not on this one because it's a European map. It's the only one I could find. But yeah, we came here and then we came back down and we went into the next valley along. We were here. That's where we were. And we were looking across, and you'll see a point. This is Anglesey. We looked through the screen, and you could see the water. You'll see the rough water. We were looking. We were coming past Colwyn Bay that way. We were looking out onto. You heard of Llandudno. That's where we do our light parade, don't we? And we were up here looking down onto the water, onto the wash here. What's in the gap? And this is Anglesey. So we were up here looking down, weren't we? And then again, we bombed back. I put the cruise control, I think I was something like about the other side of Conway somewhere. And I put the radar cruise control and I didn't touch the pedals. Didn't touch any of the pedals all the way till we got home. But it was fairly congested. It was clear and early morning when we set off. Coming back, it was pretty much congested. I don't think any of us did more than about 70 mile an hour. It was sort of steady flowing, but it wasn't open and empty. So it was took a while to come back. But again, you'll see that. It was 146 miles. It took us 3 hours, so average 50 mile an hour. Well, if you take into account, we started off here and came down the mountain and then came along here, and then the motorway was full. So that wasn't too bad, really. Yeah. If you get a clear run, you can do it in half an hour, in 2.5 hours, if nothing gets in your way and you can keep your foot down. But it's about 20 miles and further this way. But I am a motorway boy. I do love the motorways. Where's that then?
Might have to turn the music down.
Turn the music down, yeah.
Hey, hi, Paddington! I don't know where that is.
Yeah,
Why is Paddington in the middle of the field?
I don't know. We're on a good journey today. We're testing it today.
Legends driving.
We've got about 500 miles to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On our way to sunny Wales. Not sure if you can pick it up very well.
We'll see in a minute now.
You can't actually. Oh, we are. You can see. along there?
The mountains up above, look, in front.
After 500 yards.
So I don't know where this is going to come out in the journey of making the film. Anyway, this is where I originally come from, Pontrigg. This, we're turning the corner at Chapel House. It's funny how fate happens. Debbie's grandparents bought this, came up from Essex, bought this. And then the family followed up, and the Debbie's mum and Debbie's auntie and all that moved up from south up into the Wales here, and then unfortunately Debbie's grandparents had a crash in a Jag, but way before, when she was just young and I was just young. It's funny, she lived that close to where I lived, Debbie did. It's funny how fate has a hand in things. Anyway, this is part of our journey, and I'm telling you about the house and my history and blah blah blah, but this is where I come from, Pontrigg. I'm going to take you to the village centre of Pontrigg. No shop, no post office, no nothing. I am a proper Corbach lad, a little covey from Carnarvon that lives out in the sticks, out in the country. And it looks nice, it's beautiful, blah 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 blah. But if you're just an ordinary uneducated grunt, and it hasn't changed from the day I've finished getting born and bred there, that's why I'm in the city. This is where the work and the future and all the rest of it is here. But let me just show you where this is the village. This is the centre of the village. This is Pontrigg. We're just turning off towards Caerthro, off the main Llanberis Road, and where this truck sign is, it wasn't there at the time, but I lived just up that road. I was born and bred up that road there. Yeah. So now most of the volume worked in the car, but for whatever reason, when you're filming in the car and it's connected to the car, it doesn't seem to take any sound. So I'm having to redo this, as you might say, put this on the television and then re-record it, and I'll delete this off the big telly then. So now we're coming through Rostrevan. We're going up the hill to Roscadvan. That's where we started our married life up here, and I'm going to show you, and obviously stick with it, because you'll see, I'll show you the purchase price and the sale price and the work we did up here We're going to see Berwyn. We got married in this house. Coming up here, going to Rosgadvan. Yeah, up. I'm a hillbilly. Come from the mountains. Here we are. Look. Oh, the car is a lovely thing, but of course to us it's new to us, isn't it? So don't scratch my car. Keep away. Horrible little narrow lanes. It's funny, isn't it? And as a kid, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19, I would have been thrashing around here like a nutter. Damn, just hope I don't meet my young self coming the other way in an old clapped out Hillman Avenger. Anyway, let's go, and you'll see further on in the picture. I mean, I wouldn't mind buying this chapel and doing it up, but it's a lot of work. I haven't got the youth or the energy. But we go up, still climbing. We're going to see some views in a minute. And I just hope I pop this section of the film out into the right place at the right time. There's quite a big mosh of films on this one. Here we go, look. Here we are. We're nearly at the top to the crossroads. Yeah, we're nearly at the top of the crossroads. And there's the church in Rosgadvan. Yeah, or chapel here. Lots of churches and chapels in Wales. And here we are. Now, what I want you to take notice of is this house here. This is how we just happen to pass it. Keep your eye on this house here. That's Berwyn. You'll hear me talk a lot about Berwyn and tell you the price, what we paid for it and what we sold for it and what we did with it. Yeah. And we're going visiting. Yeah, that's Berwyn today. And I believe the same people are still living in it that bought it from us all that many years ago. We lived there. We've been married 41 years. We got married there. Here we are. Here we're leaving. We've been to visit Em and Trace. And, oh, there we are. You'll remember that. See the brickwork and the shape? That's how you'll remember it's the same house with the little garage. Well, there used to be garages next door, but they flattened them because, you know, things change and move. But remember Berwyn and the garage. And there was a row of garages here, but they've flattened it. They've, you know, ground get developed. Anyway, so we're coming down now, and we're trying. I don't know if it's going to show up okay, but we're going to show you the wash, which I'll show you the gap. We're up the mountains. You might just see it. You see here now, this is the wash. This ground here is Anglesey, which sticks off the edge of the Welsh coast, the North Wales coast. And we are here on the mainland, as you might say. I'm making that come out the way, aren't I? And that's the wash down here. And that's called the Menai Straits, which is the piece of water between, are we going yet? The piece of water between the main body of Wales and the Isle of Anglesey, Sir Fôn. Yeah. So you get a fantastic view from up here. But you get fantastic weather when it decides to turn on you as well. So we had no volume. We're trying to explain that to you. So, yeah, that's the wash. That's we're looking over to the Isle of Anglesey. And where do we go from here? I can't remember. But we've got no... I'm actually giving you a commentary, but for whatever reason it didn't want to connect, or it did for a while. There are some films there that it was filming and in the car when Debbie had it. I don't know whether it's Bluetooth or it doesn't seem to record speaking when you're in the car when it's connected, right? And that's Debbie's filming because she's in the passenger seat, isn't she? And we are leaving Rosgadvan now. Oh, we're on the way down. Oops, Debbie, pick up the camera. That's it. Yeah, Rosgadvan. And then we're making our way down. So it was a mix of the journey we did. I explain that in the map in a minute. of the journey we did, it was mostly motorway, quite a bit of dual carriageway and ordinary road, and then of course steep country road, country lanes. So we're going down now. So we lived here for quite some time, and then we moved to another. We came down a little bit, went to Rochisa. Again, it'll all make sense afterwards. This is just one part of the film that I'm trying to tell you about. Oh, look, 20 miles an hour. Oh, Wales, 20 miles an hour. Well, I suppose it's not a bad thing, because if the speed limit was 30 and everyone ignores it, they're doing 40, aren't they? So if the speed limit is 20, then everybody's doing 30, then obviously it's got to be safer. That's the only thing I can say about it. Now, what are we looking at here? Oh yeah, now I'm trying to show you the snow line. The snow hasn't arrived on the mountains yet, but there is a smattering. It doesn't really come up well on the camera, but you see here, all there, that's the snow. We're up at the snow line, but there hasn't been any deep snow. But generally in the winter, when you come here, the tops of the mountains is where the snow line is, and there was a grey. It doesn't really show it up in the camera much. We're in Pennsylvania now, and we're looking across to the mountains, and we're trying to tell you that story, but it's not coming. See all the whites? We're up at the snow. So we started in Dinners Cottages. We rented this place, 2 up, 2 down, backed on a graveyard. 9,950 it was for sale for. We haven't got a year on this, but it'll be a similar year. Anyway, in our film, this has been painted green, and there's a porch being put on here. But take notice of this edge, and you'll know it's the same house. This is Berwyn. What year? We'll have a look at a year, but look at this. This is us buying Berwyn for 13,500. Can you believe it? Eh? Berwyn in Rosgadvan. Wow, and you see a bit of a... This garage has been raised, hasn't it? They've raised the roof of that. And there was a row of garages. That gap there was a row of garages, but they've flattened that now. But yeah, that's the house. It's in green, you remember. And remember that price. Look, 13,550. And here we are. We're selling Berwyn now. Have we got a year? We'll come across a year in a minute. I have seen it somewhere. This is now selling Berwyn in Rosgadvan. And we sold Berwyn. Can you imagine even considering making a profit of a house of that little? We sold it for 16,350. Yeah. Isn't that mad? Isn't it? Absolutely mad. 70. That's 87, isn't it? So it would have been earlier. Yeah. Oh, now, if you want me to go into the details, but this was a mortgage snatchback, and the back of the house wanted doing, and a kitchen added, and we've done all that, and you'll see that in the paperwork. So now we are. This is the selling of Berwyn, 99 quid solicitor's fee. Ooh, wouldn't that be nice today? So here we are buying Rosita. Yeah. And we're paying 15,500 for it. Or did we agree 14 by the looks of things? We must have agreed 14 on it. Yeah. We stayed here for a few years. Again, we did it up. You'll see all this has been plastered and another door and all that. And just for you to see, look, it's on a rural spot. Where were we? There, look, it's in the middle of nowhere. Fields all around it. That's the little plot of the house. There's Bryn Awel there. Yeah. So, and we sold Bryn Awel for 38,500. After, you know, see, it's all been plastic windows. That's got wooden windows. That's got plastic windows. Plastered it. Changed the garage door. There was only a little garage. There was less of a garage there. I improved. I had a bigger garden and a bit bigger garage there. Yeah, so that's Bryn Awel. So we sold Bryn Awel for 38,500. It took us ages. It took us absolute ages to sell it. I thought it would fly out the door, but it never did. Yeah, so eventually it went. Yeah, purchase of Bryn Awel was only 200 quid. What about that for the solicitor's fee? Yeah. 39,500. Must have been the first time or the second time. Anyway, yeah. So that was just a refurb job. Got it, did the chimney, did all the inside, changed the kitchen. We did a lot of work on that one. Here's the purchase of Berwyn. Look at that. 195 quid to buy a house. Bloody hell, wouldn't that be nice now, wouldn't it? Eh? And that brought us to... hold on, I've lost a bit of paper. And we paid, this is now Station Road, 41,500, yeah. So 41,500. Let's have a look at the date. Hold on. The purchase of Berwyn was 17th of May 1984. And we've kept all the receipts for Bryn Howell. If you're a bit of a builder and you want to know the price, how much was a bag of cement and wood and timber and all that sort of thing, we've got all the receipts. If you want, let me know if you want me to go a little bit deeper and start showing you the receipts for what we were paying. Bags of cement. What's that? Copper tube. 3 lengths, 22 mil copper tube, £6.16. £6.16. What's that? A plug? Look at that, the prices on them. 1989, look. We're working on Berwyn. I'm trying to find this copper tube, look. 18 metres of 22 tube, 33 quid. You'd hardly pay that for 1 length now, wouldn't you? Bags of cement. Where is the bags of cement? Somewhere. We've got to have bags of cement, but we've got all them. So let me know if you want me to go that far back and dig out. What's this? What's this? What were we paying? Twin sockets, 349, 390. How many is it? Only one. Oh, 6 single sockets, 1179. Yeah. Wow. I judge it. And they were bigger bags of cement then, weren't they? We've got to have bags of cement in here somewhere. Anyway, if you want me to have a look and what we paid for bags of cement. 10 bags of cement. And remember, they were twice the size they were now. That was an old-fashioned bag of cement. Have we got a date on this somewhere? At £3 each, 30 quid for 10 bags of cement. Sand, 6 tons of sand. 60 quid, yeah. Wow, isn't it? I find this so fascinating on that. We got a date somewhere. Anyway, yeah. So it was funny going past the old house and looking at the prices. Look at this. This is a report. This is a report on Bryn Howell. Have a look at this. Bryn Howell, right. Right. The property is constructed of stone. Oh, both those houses were stone walls. They're horrible to work on. Stone walls with part rendered elevation section all have to be ripped out. Under a slate roof, yeah. The rear sunroof room, yeah, is constructed of block wall with wood panelled interior walls under a corrugated perspex roof. The garage constructed of block under an asbestos roof. Oh, would you do that now? Let's keep going. And the whole of the property is in poor condition, and this is clearly reflected in the purchase price. Yeah, you buy old houses and do them up. Defects which are needs attention, including the inner what's that? The inner is rising damp to the majority of the ground floor. Oh, they'd hid it. They did like very thick cardboard and did it in the wall. It looked nice until you took the cardboard off the wall. It was all knackered and wet, associated with soft and addled plaster, penetrating damp to the several walls. And again, this has affected internal decoration. Several walls have wood paneling. All had to come off. This often be used to hide damp. Continued a remark. Dry rot are the same timbers affected by all Oh, that was a lot of work. Yeah. Yeah. Damp is evident. Oh, there we are. Damp is evident in the suspended floors of the... Yeah, if you made a fire downstairs, the smoke didn't make it out. Smoke came into the bedroom upstairs. Had to have the chimney lined. Oh, to be young. The sunroom, possible that this will require renewing. Water collection was found to be in the living room. Fireplace, hearth. This is possibly due to the recent windswept snow collection in the... No, it doesn't. The whole thing was knackered. Chimney inspection of the room. Then you could diddle. You know, you're not really asking for a lot of money, are you? Hey? Fiddled the mortgage, told a whole load of lies. This one, let me tell you about Bedouin. We had to put a false kitchen in. And whilst we're here, come on, whilst we're here, let me tell you about Bedouin. We had to to get the mortgage on Bedouin, we had to block off what was the kitchen. Hold on, is that buying or selling? This is buying, that's selling, yeah. We had to, this one, the first floor, the kitchen, what does it say about the kitchen? First floor, kitchen diner. Understand what I was saying here? We had to close the kitchen, it was that bad. Turn the dining room and put a false kitchen that wasn't fitted just to get the mortgage, just to get it past the mortgage. And then we were able to then turn the dining room, to rebuild the kitchen and put the kitchen in there. But the space on this, hold on. I'm trying to, yeah, that's the hallway. Here's the room. Do you remember them glass sliding doors? There was glass sliding doors there that the ghosts used to move, used to make a noise. Anyway, and this bit here, we had to block it off, build a kitchen in here, raise a mortgage, then open this up and refurbish this. Yeah. Wow. Isn't it what was possible? And now it seems pennies, doesn't it? It seems pennies now. You wouldn't even hardly bother. Forget about changing houses. You wouldn't bother get out of bed for that sort of profit now, would you? Oh, it's so outside. What was, we got a, yeah, what does it say about the kitchen here? Hold on. Bathroom, by the way, kitchen. Does it say anything about, yeah, kitchen? And this is gas bottle heating. Oh, no mains gas here, all gas bottle. Tiled fireplace, yeah. Kitchen was it having thermostatically tiled floor, single drain, stainless steel sink, top right. So that's what it says about the kitchen when we sold it. What did it say about the kitchen when we bought it? Kitchen diner, look. It's a kitchen diner there. See, the size is different. Having stainless, that was a false. Yeah, was, oh, what you used to do. What you got to do to make progress. What you got to do to, you know, to get where you're at. And we're here, and ideally we should have sold this and moved on, but we didn't. We've really settled, and we really like it here. But we've been here a good old time. It's funny, isn't it? It's funny. I had it somewhere. A flue lining company to come and do the chimney in 1987 in Brynhowell. No, yeah, in Brynhowell, Rochester, was 380 quid. You wouldn't get them to get the steps out and go up on the roof for that one, you know. It's just mad. Just absolutely mad, isn't it? About this then, the cost of selling the house We had an advertising board, including the board, the photograph, £8.50 VAT. The total bill to sell the house was 99 quid. What year was that? 1987, to sell a house. Hasn't inflation come along and kicked us in the arse? It's just been greed, hasn't it? Greed. How have we got to a situation where properties are costing us so much? It's just incredible. Who would have believed how much properties would have increased? That, I'm guessing now, is 200, 250, even more, because of this. There was a gap between Wales and England, but then Wales, we couldn't even sell this house and buy our old house back now because the prices have risen up. Yeah, that's what happened. A whole load of the Cockneys moved into Wales. They were selling their council houses in London for 300,000, and then moving into Wales and buying all the properties. Yeah, wow. There was a huge gap. I mean, I remember at that time, it's called Carrick's. It was a little 10-acre farm. The house was knackered, wanted redoing, but it was 25 grand. We nearly went for 25,000 and bought a 10-acre small holding. Wow, what if we'd have done that? If we'd only have known, and of course, if we would have managed to keep up the payments, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Wow, who knew houses were going to do what they did? Mad, isn't it? Hindsight is a great thing, isn't it? Rosisa, it was that damp. We had to hire a dehumidifier, look, for 70 quid to try and suck all the water out of the place. Here we are, look, this is the map for where we live now. And remember me telling you, proposed garage. This was the end of our property. We gained that in the end. That belonged to it. It's quite a long story, and I'll tell you if you ask me. But why have we got a garage in the middle? Because when we first moved in, that was the end of our property, and that's why the garage is in the middle of the damn garden, and everybody else had a much longer garden. Yeah. What year was that? We better keep this safe. This is the planning permission that have come through for the middle garage. Look, we did not require building regs not required. Must be under 30 foot square. Look, don't make any bigger. Yeah, and that was in 1997. We were getting planning permission for the garage.